Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense.
Hello guys, welcome back to Through the Lens with the Unholy Trinity, liking Sundude's energy. Speaking of which, that is Sundude on my left. On my right, Mr. Zephyros.
I am the Zephyros.
I'm not liking your energy. You gotta hype up, mate. Come on, this is new Marvel shit. Come on.
Let's go.
Good enough. And then it's me, your host, Patronus Scald. And today, like I already kind of spoiled, we are doing a new Disney Plus Marvel show. Specifically, What If?
What if you left the show?
Fuck,
That's
that
right.
would probably make things
Ooh,
go a lot better.
I've got an idea for what we do after our final verdict.
What? Yeah.
That is a surprise.
Alright. Shit, I'm losing myself. Yes. Okay, what if?
Do yourself.
Yes. Episode, the season premiere, titled "What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger?" Synopsis for the episode is: when Steve Rogers is seriously injured, Peggy Carter becomes the world's first super soldier. It is directed by Brian Andrews, written by A.C. Bradley and Matthew Chauncey. It stars Jeffrey Wright, Haley Atwell, Josh Keaton, Dominic Cooper, Sebastian Stan, among many
Among Us.
What are you gonna say Among Us?
among.
Synchronized Among Us.
All right. Speaking of Among Us, were there any good performances among us? Oh wait, no. First shit. No, I take back what I said. Speaking of Among Us, were there any good impressions among us?
I knew that.
Sips water so innocently. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Captain
All right,
Carter.
then I'll talk.
Got a
Captain
cool
10
Carter.
out of 10.
He's already given his
Would not
verdict.
take.
I don't get this man, but yeah, I kind of like this one. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a visual spectacle. It's very creative, very nice. Fun show, and I'm looking forward to the future of it. I guess. I guess negatives are kind of like I don't think some of the aspects of the writing are a bit not that good. They'll talk more about it in writing. But like, hey, it's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Also this,
Thank
which
you.
is apparently it's like the white supremacist hand sign. If you flip
No,
it,
like this.
is it?
No, like
Uh,
this. There you go. Well, at least it
This
looks
is
like
okay. Fuck.
Well,
What
it's
is
supposed to be W for white and P for power.
This is a B, bro. They dumb.
P goes down here.
But there isn't even a thing. That's barely like yeah. Okay,
Dumbass white people.
white power, more like Wahlberg power. Am I right?
Let's go.
There's a reference to the many racially motivated hate crimes of Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
As committed.
Yes.
Ooh.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of Mark Wahlberg and acting. What do we think about the voice acting in this?
Lit.
Pretty
Absolutely,
lit.
I think it was. Great job from the talented cast. Haley Atwell, great main character. Jeffrey Wright. Oh my god, Jeffrey Wright. He is my boy, and I think he
Jeffrey
did a great job as the
Epstein.
Watcher. No, stop, Dio, stop. No,
All right.
no.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Also, kind of wanted to shout out Josh Keaton, who played Steve Rogers, which is really interesting because it's not Chris. But I felt like he actually did a really like spot on job with that, and I was kind of like, hey, sounds like him. Did y'all share the same thoughts?
I guess it sounds like Steve, man.
Sun
Cool
man.
stuff.
Nothing to add. They were all pretty good.
All right, let's get on to the writing, eh? What did we think about the writing, gentlemen?
It was written.
It was
It
written.
was
I don't have
written.
much opinions.
I thought it
Well,
was
the concept was pretty
alright.
epic. It was like, what
Mhm.
if? And you're like, wow, I guess that is what happens if it. What
If that
if?
did happen.
If that did happen, it
So that is a
could
cool
be like
concept
that.
for a show. You mentioned before that was based off a couple of comic spin-offs, is that right?
It is based off a comic book line called What If. And the formula that they follow, especially with the use of Oatu. Is that his name? Oatu, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's like I read some comics beforehand, and the dialogue is very similar, and it's very comic book accurate.
Mhm.
Actually, that's something that I noticed about this show. For me personally, I was going like it's an MCU property. Feel like as an MCU property, it was kind of a bit weak in terms of like kind of like random shit started to happen towards the ending, and I'm kind of like it doesn't really. I don't know if it really makes sense in the MCU world, whatever. But then I was thinking if it was a comic book, I don't know. It felt very comic booky. I don't know. I can't explain it. It felt less like a like an. Does that make sense? Does
It
anyone
tastes
get
like a
that?
comic book.
Kinda. Oh yeah,
So
it
yeah,
was. Yeah, yeah.
Kind of fast paced because you're flipping through the pages, man.
yeah. That's the pacing was kind of not very great for what yeah.
Although they only
But
got
that's I
one
think it serves
episode
as like
per
a
story, don't they?
yeah. So
It sort of felt like to me that they had to try and condense the entire first Avenger film
into
into
20 minutes.
yeah.
Oh, and so I guess to the viewers, if you haven't seen the episode already, you need to watch the MCU. There's like they're not going to explain shit for you. They're going to skip a lot of stuff, and you're expected to know everything from that first Avenger. It kind of like what it reminds me. It kind of serves as like one of those like what if comic books of the movie, right? It's like a companion piece to the movie sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely
Okay.
feels more like a comic book.
Do you think it's a good adaptation of a comic book?
I think it does do well in that part. It's just that the MCU thing kind of threw me off. But I feel like going forward as I watch the show, I'm not going to have the expectation of it being like a MCU sort of prop. It is, but like my expectation is going to be different from going forward. Which I don't think it's the show's fault really. It's I don't know. Maybe it's just like just needs to get used to. Actually, one thing that I do think is kind of a bad thing is that once again they're doing the weekly release thing, and I think this show would be perfect to binge. Just like binge it, you know?
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because it felt kind of short, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be consecutive episodes of different stories and bits and bobs. So yeah, those are our thoughts.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jack looking something up.
Cool. Sorry. Cinematography. What do we think of the cinematography? Yeah, I can't speak. Cinematography.
He's
A
alright.
lot. A part of it, I felt was very stylized.
Sorry.
Like
It's incredibly
when
stylized. Yeah.
when they tried to do comic book style, especially with like certain like fight scenes where they like emulate some of like the classic
Framing.
like comic book framings, yeah, and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. It was cool to see.
Absolutely.
I mean,
And yeah, absolutely fantastic bang on job with that. We'll just jump right into editing and visuals because we're mostly on this stylized itself. They're really good. The action's very nice. I found like the action was really solid, right?
Lot of
Yeah,
Also, definitely
bangs
leans
and
more into the comic book stuff
pows.
because a lot of the stuff that Peggy does, you just wouldn't be able to do that in live action.
The
But
pows.
it was cool. Also, I was really surprised with the lighting is really cool. That was just
yeah,
something that
totally.
stood out to me a lot. And that goes with the animation. The animation looks like a comic book that's come live, I guess. So, cell
Mhm.
shading. Good job.
Cool.
All right, audio and music.
I didn't really pay attention to it that much, but I found it was pretty cool.
The sound design.
Oh yeah.
I found it to be really good, and yeah, there's not much to say about that, but yeah.
Pretty
What
good
do you think about
as far as
the
I remember.
music?
Like classically 1940s jazz. I heard like a chord, and I'm like, this sounds like a song I listened to, and I've
Might be.
rewound it back and was like, I don't know if I know this song. I just recognized like one chord, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Just
Yeah,
a
So no, yeah,
spicy
cool
chord.
vibes.
Dude is the first Avenger himself. You know, he's back.
He lived through that
Nah, I
era.
just listened to a lot of archived music.
Damn.
Not archived music. It's just oldies.
The
Yeah.
good old classics.
You're an archived man.
Yo, my name is Archive Man. My superpower is that I have access to archives.
Which is Spotify.
Hell yeah! I mean, that's kind of the Watcher, eh? He kind of just looks at shit. He's an archived man
Archivist
of
is
the
the name.
multiverse.
Just
Yeah,
archivist. That's it. That's
yeah,
being an archivist is a superpower.
yeah.
Take that, Gary Brandon haters.
All
Don't be
right.
hating on my boy Gary Brandon. But yes, enough of a tangent.
Speaking of tangents, let's hop on a multiversal spoiler zone. We're going into the spoiler zone.
What is that?
Spoiler zone, people.
But what if this was the non-spoiler zone?
I tried to do it in a reverse. If I failed miserably.
Try and tinnitus.
What
All right.
if
Shall
spoiler
we?
zone is danger zone on a recorder? What would not spoiler zone be on a recorder?
Safety place.
Safety
Safety.
place?
The
Safe
good place.
place?
Steve.
Safety,
Safe space?
not place.
Wait, I just remembered. Isn't there a Marvel hero called Safe Space?
Yes,
Yes.
from like the new, the like some new comic book thing, right? Because they're doing
Yes.
all this weird shit that's doesn't.
Safe Space is a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. He can create force field, but he can only trigger them if he's protecting somebody else.
Isn't like safe space like a mental health like call line?
It is, I think.
Oh.
But yes. Also, they are non-binary.
That's cool.
Cool.
But
Speaking
yes,
of cool, let's talk about some spoilers, eh?
let's go.
I have a spoiler here that could be a potential spoiler for the show. Do you want me to talk about it? Because like,
Sure.
Nah, it's in the trailers. So I
okay, if
think
it's
it's
in the
fine.
trailers, then I can talk about it, I guess. It is gearing up for like a cinematic universe of these episodes or whatever. That they're trying to like do some sort of Avengers event.
Yeah. Okay, now that you
You
say
do
it,
see
it's
it in
not
the trailer.
explicitly in the trailers, but you can piece it together.
Yeah, I
definitely
was
piece it
gonna.
together.
That's why it's kind of spoilers because 2 more episodes of the show have come out. So like, I don't know. I know bits and bobs. That I don't know.
But nonetheless, it's pretty easy to figure out if you've seen the trailers,
Yeah.
I would say.
And
But,
the
yeah.
ending of this episode also is teasing that as well, I think.
Yeah.
Because Peggy winds up in the space of where Loki was in 2012. But yeah, she comes through that Tesseract and like pretty epic, eh?
Yes.
Epic, dude.
And Samuel L. Jackson and Jeremy Renner have cameos at the end there, voicing their characters.
Ah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Also, a kind of a this is more speculation, but Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Rumor has it that Peggy will be appearing in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing we know for certain is that in the trailers, Peggy will meet Stephen Strange as a what if in the what if series.
Yeah.
But no, it could be interesting to see how the multiverse of madness goes with all this crazy multiverse stuff happening.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see her back on screen doing shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Steve's suit becomes the Hydra
Oh
Stomper.
yes. Le
How about
Hydra
it?
Stomper.
Yeah.
Stomping some hydras.
I thought when Steve got blown up on the thing that he would become the new Winter Soldier, but they didn't go that route. That would have been cool though. It's a really skinny man with a metal arm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they would have pumped him with some sort of serum though, so he would still have muscles. But like, oh yeah, now there isn't a Winter Soldier.
No, there isn't. Fuck, he's there. And there was that really funny joke where he was like, "Hey, you almost ripped my arm off." Yeah.
Got him.
All right. Final thing, I guess, to talk about tentacles.
Yes.
I kind of came out of nowhere, but it was kind of funny. So, like, yeah.
Just way to turn it up from 0 to 100. Suddenly introduce some tentacles.
Out of nowhere, but like,
The champion
Alright.
of the universe. That was a terrible German accent. I'm gonna shut up now.
yeah.
Nice.
All right then. Anything more to talk about before we go to the verdicts?
Steve in a suit. Did we talk about that?
I just we just
Alright. Very good, I guess.
okay. Sorry, my thing cut out. I don't know what happened.
We good to go, I think.
Okay, cool. Alrighty then. Final verdict. We can skip Dio because he gave it a 10, right?
Did I?
Do you want to keep that 10? You said in the first impressions this is a 10. Do you want to keep
No,
it?
I said I nutted, bro.
And you were like 10 out of 10 episode, and I was like, okay.
It was a 10 out of 10 nut.
Oh,
You
he was
get me?
rating his nut.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay.
So my
You wanna
rating
give
for the
me a verdict.
episode would be, pretty cool start of the show. I like where it's going. I like the stylistics. Hope it gets better. Or I mean, hope it stays good or gets better. Give it an 8.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah, I'm basically in the same boat as Dio. I just feel like there's something to do with maybe like the length of the episode or something that's just not making it flow like that well. I feel like they can fix that in the future, but as of right now, I'll get used to it. I think eventually, but as of right now, I'm gonna give this one a 7. Still a great watch.
I'm gonna give it a 7. No, sorry, 8 as well. I quite enjoyed it. So far that's a combined average of like 7.6, 7.7.
There you go, folks.
Go.
All right then, that
Yeah.
was What If episode 1. Sunny, did you want to do something?
What if the Unholy Trinity was not the Unholy Trinity? What if I was not I wasn't part of this group? What if Jack wasn't part of this group? What if Dio wasn't part of this group? What if Dio was in Australia instead of in Indonesia? What if?
Oh shit.
You want to get into this?
True.
Oh, you know what? We'll do one for each episode, one for each review.
Like a
What
what if
if?
scenario.
I think I want to do a big one or at least a big one in my opinion. What if Dio was in Australia?
Then we'll be doing
We
this
do
Then
in
we'd
person.
we could have done an in-person
like
episode a
we'd be
while
doing.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have been doing in person, but then maybe we would have had more like subscribers and views.
Yeah.
Then
Make it a
maybe this
subscribers
could be our
page.
job. And then if this was our job because of lockdown, I think we'd still technically be allowed to record in the same room or something if it was our career.
Essential
Therefore, we'd be
workers.
making all the money because nobody else is able, a lot of other people aren't able to work. So therefore, we control Australia.
That's right. We are the Australian media. We'll defeat
And
the
then
Channel
tentacles come along at
10s.
the end, obviously.
yes.
We'll be the new Channel 10.
Channel 10, more like
Ben 10,
Channel.
he's a boy who has lots of fun.
Hell yeah. And you know who will also have a lot of fun? You guys, if you subscribe to the channel, subscribe,
Yes.
hit the notification bell, give us a like.
This must be
Comment.
episode 95. It's only we're on a 5-episode countdown to episode 100, right?
What's going to happen when we hit 100? Who knows? Maybe we do. I don't know. You might find out. We'll see.
We'll see. Hell yeah.
All right. Bye for now. We'll see you in the next one, eh?
Goodbye.
Bye bye.